All right, look at you. You graduated. Now you're probably looking for a job. I know it might be scary for you because you're just entering into this new field. You've been sheltered into this whole like school system for a long time, and now you're actually finally getting to be like an adult. Now you're shifting from becoming like a student to now a full-fledged like employee. So first off, congrats. And now let's get started. I want to share some advice on like how to find a job and like certain mindsets that you should have when you're like looking for jobs. And so here's what I recommend. Like this is advice. This is not just advice for like engineers or environmental engineers. This is like general advice for all graduating students or just anyone who's looking for a job. So this is again kind of from my own young personal experience. So the first thing that I think is really important when you're like looking for jobs is that you should have a open mind. Keep an open mind and be willing to learn. But here's one thing that sort of hit me personally. Don't be super prideful just because you have like a higher degree than someone who's been in the work field. Sometimes you might be coming out with like a master's, like a PhD, and your boss, who's like much older than you, he only has like a bachelor's, or maybe your coworkers, they only have like a bachelor's. But you're coming in younger, you're like 23, 24, coming out of like graduate school, and then you have a higher degree. You accomplished more during your academic journey, but you haven't accomplished much in your like professional work journey. So that being said, you might come out thinking that you're like super high up there because you have like a more education than them. That's not always the case. The academic journey is like much more different than the actual professional work journey. So just keep that in mind. So trust me on this, that when I say that your school journey is different from your work journey, like you're gonna have to be learning a lot of new stuff because what you learn in school is probably not going to apply so much in your work field. So you're probably going to have to unlearn some stuff during school because it's not always right to like enforce what you learn in school onto the real world because it doesn't always work that way. The concepts are different. Again, be always willing to learn because what you learn in school, yeah, it's just to fulfill like the school requirements, but once you're out in work, you have to be able to adapt really well into like the actual work environment. Your journey of learning will never stop, just so you know. The next mindset that you should have is that you should accept failure. So it's okay to fail at things because you don't know what's going on. It's okay to mess up because you're still young, you're still learning. People understand that, because they just hired like, 22, 23-year-old at their company. They know that they're going to mess up. They have, 20 years of experience, and then they know that, oh, this guy, he just came in, he's probably going to mess up a lot. I remember because, back in my day, 20 years ago, I learned this and that. So when you do mess up, I know it's gonna hit you hard because you're gonna think, wow, I messed up. Just move on once the issue has been solved. Just use that failure as wisdom for the future for preventing you to mess up again. It's better to mess up like now when you're young and like just entering the job market than later on in the future because, as you get older, people will think that you'll get more experience and that problem that affected you, it might have longer and harder consequences than when you're younger. And also, when you fail during work, it's different from school because, during school punishes you for failing. Like, you fail a class, now you have to retake the class. Failing a class might hold you back like 1 quarter or semester, maybe even a whole year. So they really punish you for that, and I don't like that. The fact that you fail, so long as you learn from that lesson, should be a good thing. That just means you're getting smarter and adapting more to your environment. So accept failure and treat it as wisdom for the future. The third tip is be honest with yourself. So for example, if you don't like something, you should say it. Speak up, have the courage to say it. If you want to propose a change to a project or something, or you want to suggest something, just say it. Be honest to your manager, your boss. Of course, say it professionally, but don't be complacent with the fact that you just keep doing the same thing over and over again. Sometimes it can be personal, so like a colleague is mistreating you, speak up and say it. Say it to the colleague, say it to your manager, say, I don't like how this person's mistreating me, or maybe I propose like a change to this project. I think it'll work out better this way if we do it this way. Don't be afraid to jump in and like speak your mind, because if you don't speak honestly about it, nothing's gonna change. People don't read minds, and you can't expect something different if you just keep doing the same thing over and over again. So say it honestly, say it proudly. I have this great quote, I don't know who said it, I forgot. Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. That's not gonna happen if you don't say anything, if you don't change anything. So just say it. If you don't like something, say it. If you want to ask for a raise, say it. If you want to suggest something new to a project, say it. Because, again, nothing's going to change if you don't do it. And lastly, this is the hardest part, and I know it even affects me too because I have a hard time doing this too, is that you shouldn't sell yourself short. And what that means is that you shouldn't negotiate lower than your value, like knowing your true worth. So I know that we're like young and inexperienced, we just came out of college, you might have a higher degree or not, but even so, that doesn't mean that we should be like the lowest on the totem pole. We don't always have to start from the bottom and then build our way up like that. We could have like a little bit head start. Companies know that some employees are going to negotiate right away their salary if they're starting, so they have like wiggle room. Don't just accept any offer just because you're desperate. I know it might seem that way because you just graduated, so you're thinking, if I ask something, they're probably going to reject me right away, and I don't want to get like rejected. I should be grateful for what I have. You know what you can do, so like why can't companies see that? Prove to the company that I'm better than that. I don't have to start from the lowest. I think I deserve to be treated better. I think I deserve this amount because I know what I can do. So long as you know like your true value and like your true worth, then you shouldn't let some other company dictate and like give you your own number because you know what you can do. Don't sell yourself short. Don't think that just because they think you're the bottom means that you are the bottom. You're much better than that. And so that's really all I have to say on this topic. I know that it's just hard because during this whole pandemic that people are like, they're getting unemployed, they're getting laid off, so it's pretty much desperate to get any job if you can. I know you do have to like balance between like how desperate you are versus whether really necessary, but still in the end, remember that we're all human, so the manager who's hiring you, he's still human. The person, you watching this, you're still human, so like what makes you any different? You shouldn't be treated unequally. You still deserve, basic human rights. And everyone started from somewhere, so that hiring manager with 20 years of experience, he once was, an emerging student just like you. So it wouldn't make sense for you to like start from the bottom when he started, pretty high up there, back in his day. So yeah, that's my general advice. I know I'm still young, I'm still growing too. You're probably gonna say, don't listen to this guy, like he's just too young and inexperienced to be giving out advice when it should be like an older person who has more experience be giving out, advice to younger people. You might think that way. Sorry if, that offends you. But because I've started from somewhere and I've been on that boat, that I can probably, give decent advice about this. Okay, that's all I have for this video. Good luck out there, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.